All right. So Mashable.com, I'm Christina Warren, and I am here with director Paul Feig of the hit film Bridesmaids.
Hello, thank you. Good to be here.
And we can actually say hit film now because it opened really well over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always nervous. I'm always convinced,
Right.
like, tomorrow it's just going to, like, make $1 and it'll be a disaster. But, yeah, for now, we'll touch for Mike.
We'll knock on wood.
There
Yeah, we'll knock on wood.
So, always funny.
It is. All right. So for the 5 people maybe don't know about Bridesmaids, can you give us like a little 5-second overview of what the film is?
Sure, you bet. It's basically story of Kristen Wiig plays a character named Annie, who's at a very bad point in her life. Her business has failed. Her boyfriend has left. She's living in a bad situation, and the only thing she has in her life that's really solid is her friendship with her childhood friend, played by Maya Rudolph, who goes by the name of Lillian in the movie. And Lillian gets engaged and asks Annie to be her maid of honor. And it's basically how Annie's life kind of falls apart, trying to be a maid of honor while she's trying to put her life together and going up against a new best friend that her friend has. So it's a bit of a, we haven't figured out the term yet. It's a cis-mance or a galmance or a womance. I don't know. But it's about the friendship between two women.
Yes, and but there's it's very funny. I think one of my favorite hashtags I saw on Twitter was chick flick meets dick flick.
Yeah, exactly. That made me laugh too. You know, George Takei actually put that on his Twitter about us. Yes, so thank you, George.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Dr. Zulu, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know all my Star Trek references,
yes,
but I
Mr.
tried.
Zulu, yes.
That's awesome. No, and a lot of people kind of compared it, and I think it's, this is always a scary comparison, kind of like The Hangover for women or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it works, and it's a really funny film, which is rare for female-driven comedies to be really kind of raucously funny. I think.
It's I don't know, they tend to be more kind of rom-com, which
Right.
I like romantic comedies. I have no problem with them. I just like the one they're kind of funny, and sometimes those get a little precious for my taste. So I like that we just kind of went for it.
You just kind of went for it.
Yeah.
So, this was your first film?
No, this is my third film.
Your third film, okay.
The first film to do well. My other two bombed. So.
And just so we can, have round out our DVD collections.
Yes, your coaster collection. No, I'm a proud. Look, you make them. They're like your babies, your ugly babies that you still love. One was called I Am David, which was actually a drama that I did pretty much right after Freaks and Geeks about why am I pitching it? A kid who grew up in a communist labor camp after World War II and then escapes to go and find his mother. So that was a knee slapper. Yeah,
that sounds like barrels of fun.
That sounds like the perfect choice to make right after you do Freaks and Geeks. God only knows why. I like it. Again, I like it. And then I did a Christmas movie back in 2006 called Unaccompanied Minors.
Okay.
Which kids do like. Kids like it, but and I'm proud of it. Again, very proud of it. But it did not do well. Did not do well at the box office. So I'm very happy to have what some would call a hit. I just call the key to get me out of movie jail.
All right, so Paul's out of movie jail now, which is
that's right. I'm on the loose. I'm escaped. I'm like a convict. I'm an ex-con.
But you've been really successful on TV. You've had a really great career directing a lot of fantastic TV shows: Arrested Development, The Office, Nurse Jackie, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say is probably the biggest difference in directing episodic television and doing film?
Well, in TV, you're coming in as writer. TV's like a writer's medium. So like when I was doing Freaks and Geeks, you're kind of in charge of the directors when you're the producer and writer on the show, and the directors come in and give you great ideas, and they'll kind of do their thing, but it's up to us to go like, oh, don't do that, or can you get this, or we kind of are on top of the directors. So when I direct, having run a show, I'm very respectful of the fact that it's their show. I'm just coming in to try to make it better, but I'm also not going to force them to do things or be like, oh no, if they want to change something, I'm like, hey, how dare you? It's like, no, it's your show, do it. But unfortunately, I've been lucky enough to work on shows where they're very respectful of me and like my input. I think it's because they know I'm a writer and have run my own show that I tend to maybe get a little more respect than sometimes other guys might get. So, but it's great. Working on The Office was one of the greatest shows of all time, and Arrested Development was so much fun, and Nurse Jackie I love doing, and yeah, I've just been lucky to work on really great shows. It just happened to work out that way.
So you have a really large Twitter following, and at Mashable, we're all about the Twitter and the Facebook. And
you guys have a huge Twitter following. You double mine. I'm I'm jealous. Come over to me. Come to me.
Everyone follow at Paul Feig because he's hysterical. So, but how long have you been on Twitter, and are you surprised that your following has taken off the way that it has?
I'm very happy it has. I've been on Twitter for about 2 or 3 years now. It happened when I was the year I was co-exec producing on The Office. I was kind of their in-house director and doing that. And I decided I was going to do it, so I opened an account and was just kind of playing around with it, just putting up ridiculous stuff. And then Rainn Wilson, who was really big into Twitter, said, he said, "Are you starting Twitter?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'll put the word out to my followers." I was like, "Okay, that's so nice of you, thanks." And I had the setting where it notifies you when somebody.
How to turn that off?
7,000. My BlackBerry exploded. Like 7,000 people joined me, and the thing is, now I'm about like I'm 1,180,000. I don't think Twitter's structured anymore where I could get that amount of people now if I came on. I mean, if you're like Charlie Sheen or somebody who's infamous, you can get that. But what happened was they just very nicely, unbeknownst to me, I don't know how they make the decisions, Twitter put me on that people to follow.
Oh, right, so you got on the suggested user list.
Yeah, so the minute you come on, there's like a list of like 50 people, and I was one of them. So every day it would just go up like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people.
Rumor has it, and I can neither confirm nor deny that that's how Mashable got our large following. So.
See, exactly. It was great, and then they changed it. So
then they changed it because people got upset, but hey, for the people lucky enough to get on board.
Oh my God, I could not be happier about it. I mean, look, probably 80% of them are dead accounts for all I know, but it looks good.
It looks good, and it sure makes I'm sure the movie executives happy when you can go. I can just blast this stuff out.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Although the bad thing is like all the people like, hey, can you put up this and that's like. There's a weird vetting process I have to do. I try not to do with anybody, but then there's certain things I want to do. So.
Right. So you get pitched for your Twitter account. Not to direct the movie, but will you tweet this?
Yeah, their friends want to get a following or something. But some people I'm like, because that's how I came to it because of Rainn. So but I also don't want to like load people up with lame people. Not that anybody lame comes to me, but I want to vet it. I'm very respectful of my Twitter followers in that I try not to look. Present time accepted because of Bridesmaids. I tend to be banging the gong for Bridesmaids a lot, but in general. Try not to promote too much stuff because I hate when I follow people and all they do is promote what they're, even if I'm promoting something, I try to make it funny or, because you can promote all, I don't want to become Kim Kardashian or something, just promoting Carl's Jr. or whatever.
That's awesome.
Although I'm all, go Kim, I think it's great.
No, that's like immediately like retweet. I'm not going to become Kim Kardashian. Like seriously, I think we should prepare.
Oh no.
No, it's okay because.
And then it's going to be Paul Feig doesn't like him. I like her. I think she's great. I think she's beautiful.
It's funny, and I think everybody should be able to joke with that.
I'm leaving. I'm back. Hi.
And he's back. No, all right. So do you use Facebook at all, or have you gotten to using that at all?
I started on Facebook, and I've got. 3,000 friends or something. The mistake I made with Facebook, and it's nothing against anybody who I'm on Facebook with, is that it was fun when I started out when it was everybody I knew.
Right.
And then it was before Twitter, so I was like, oh, well, this would be kind of a fun way to get word out to people that who want to follow what I do. And I just started taking on so many friends that now the Twitter feed, Facebook feed means nothing.
Exactly, because you're just a stream of, I don't know who you are.
News from people. I'm like, that's great to whoever you are, but it sounds mean. I'm grateful for anyone who follows.
No, I think that happens to a lot of people though, where your stream becomes unmanageable, and it's not that you don't care, you do, but it's just there reaches a certain point where you just can't follow what's going on.
Well, it used to be my favorite thing to watch, to go on and look at my Facebook feed, and now I never think to do it. I never go on Facebook anymore. For me, Twitter has beaten Facebook. I hate to say it. Sorry, Mark, but I just like Twitter better. You know what I like? I like the brevity of Twitter because sometimes Facebook's like, hey, here's a book I wrote. Here's all I pasted into this. When you get I don't like getting long emails or anything like that. So 140 characters is about all my ADD can handle. My ADHD.
Have you used, obviously promoting the film and whatnot, but have you been surprised by how much the movie industry is kind of, and the TV industry too for that matter, has kind of embraced social media in a lot of ways? Because it started out, like Rainn Wilson was like one of the first celebrities to really be big on it and use it in a lot of ways, and now it's become a standard part of marketing campaigns where you say, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
Well, they've made it not fun. Like anything, like your favorite band when they take off and it's like, I don't like them anymore. I think, how could you not use Twitter? It's the greatest thing ever. I'll never forget when I decided I was going to go on it. my wife was like, "Oh, what are you doing that for?" She was really kind of thought, "What a stupid thing to waste your time with." And within a few weeks of doing it with my tweets, they were getting reprinted in newspapers and all that. So it was like, wow, this is powerful.
Yeah.
So it's, anybody be insane to not take the power of it. But like anything, I think sometimes it can be more overblown than it feels. When Freaks and Geeks was getting canceled, there was a big, at that time, internet campaign to kind of get people to, go after it. And that was before people found out, and again, I love the internet, but then you kind of look and you get like a whole page, or you get all these emails, and it felt like, oh my God, the world is going crazy wanting this back. But when you actually did the math, it was like, okay, maybe that's 500 people or 1,000 people. And slowly, sadly, Hollywood figured that out. But now Twitter has these giant numbers it deals with. But at the same time, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's a dead account. I don't know how people just sign on and it's gone. I hope they're all looking, but it's this thing. Any of us could say, put out something that gets seen by 1 million plus people is I go mad with power. I do my bidding. Minions, I have no, but I think it's great. Twitter, I love how democratic it is. I just think it's so nice to be able to communicate directly with people. That's what I love about email. Like if I get the email address of somebody I'm a fan of, like I don't have to go through their secretary or their agent or anything. I just there they are, and they're going to look at it or they're going to delete it. But I'm in their head. I'm in your head.
He's in your head. Mm-hmm. So, obviously we're still in theaters and we're not, don't want to talk too much about when things are coming to DVD and whatnot. But an area that I'm really interested in is kind of this convergence of technology with the distribution platforms. And, so we have Blu-ray, we have, the internet, we have, like stuff like iTunes and other stuff. Does that change as a director how you kind of see making your film? Do you think about strictly the big screen experience, or do you think about like the second screen or the smaller screen experience too?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. It's very hard these days to not take that in consideration, but at the same time you kind of hate to do it when you're a filmmaker because, like this movie I shot widescreen, and not the letterbox size, but the extra wide.
Right.
Which I love. It's just a format I love, and it looks great in a theater. But then at the same time you go, oh, but when people watch it on their TV, it means they're going to have a black bar on the top and be like that.
Right.
I can't get them, but and stripped across it. So, but at the same time, we'll go in and do a pan and scan or just blow it up optically for that.
But that makes Baby Jesus cry.
Yes, I know, exactly.
Pan and scan makes Baby Jesus cry. Like, no one should ever use pan and scan for anything.
I know. Well, I know. Fortunately, we were able to do it with kind of, we can pull out and reposition a bit. But it's not, as a filmmaker, you do. Here's the thing: if you're going to fight against it, you're going to lose because that's how most people are going to see your movie. A lot of people will watch your movie on on this, or on their iPhone.
Which, as David Lynch was famously said, my movies are not meant for the iPhone.
Yeah.
Which is true, but sadly people do watch them that way.
See, that's exactly. I could sit there and say the same thing, and I can get on a soapbox, and would love to get on a soapbox about it because I hate that it gets seen that way. But you know what I hate more? When people don't see it when I do. So sure. I'd much rather them see it. Watch it tiny. I don't care.
Watch it tiny, but watch it.
Watch it. Watch it right now. I mean, watch it, you guys.
So, all right. Other than going to see Bridesmaids, what should people like? The end of the world is coming tomorrow. Apparently.
I know, it's very exciting.
It is very exciting. I mean, the rapture and whatnot. And despite my name being Christina, I don't expect to be saved.
No, I think I've very earthbound tomorrow.
Yeah, as do I. But what would you say? What are you going to do, and what do you think other people should do? Last day on Earth.
Last day on Earth. Well, first of all, go to see Bridesmaids.
Yes, exactly.
Because you'll get a good laugh. I think everybody should just kill people, have sex. No, I don't know. You know what? Proceed as normally because the world's not going to end.
Thank you. Yes.
Here's what you do on the last day. You go down and you beat up one of those people that tells you the world's going to end because they're a-holes. They are. If you're saying the world's going to end tomorrow, you're an a-hole, and I'm not going to pull my punches. So, right there at you.
That's
wow.
Awesome.
That's so. That was so aggressive of me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not.
They got to come.
The chances are they probably aren't going to see this anyway. So.
Well, come on. Well, I can't believe the FamilyRadio.com is not following Mashable.
Something tells me. I know.
That's Mashupable.
That is Mashable. That would actually be really funny to have like a remix of that stuff.
Yeah.
like kind of like, you know, ephemeral films from the 50s, you know, or even the 30s, you know, superimposed with the new ads from
That's
today.
true. That's true.
That could be a funny.
I like it.
Be funny.
I like the idea that maybe the world ends right now, because I mean, if they're basing it on
Yeah.
the Bible,
Mhm.
it's not. That can't be like to the minute accurate.
No.
You know, they have to be like, you know, daylight savings time. They didn't get in there, so it might be happening like, oh my God. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It might be
It
happening in like
feels
30
weird.
seconds.
Oh my God.
It is raining in New York today.
I just looked at the camera. Sorry.
That
It was the earthquake, wasn't
it?
it?
It was the earthquake. Well, yeah, that's true. And I always think, what translation of the Bible are they using? Because if they do get
Yeah.
the translation right, maybe the year could be off.
Yeah, well, exactly. See, maybe it already ended a year ago. We don't know about it. It's like the hitchhiker. Or whatever.
Yes.
We're dead. We don't know it.
We're already dead. Exactly.
Well, thanks for spending the afterlife with us.
Be like Richard Linklater's Waking Life, where the whole thing is.
That's right. You'll have to animate us. Wait a minute.
That would be very cool.
I have
All
an
rotoscopic
idea.
and stuff.
That'll look good on an iPhone.
That would, or an iPad even.
Hey, you know what? It's getting better and better. I like it. Well done.
All right, Paul. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you. My goodness, so
Really
much
appreciate
fun. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.